Welcome one, welcome all to the 2025 pumpkin carving stream. Behold, my very high quality cosplay or Halloween costume, whatever you want to call it. Same thing. And Gregor. What do you have to say about this, Gregor? You look quite dapper in your cockroach costume. He really does, but he really doesn't like it. Like, it seems like he's been, like, perfectly framed for something, but he's just kind of been standing here for 5 minutes because he doesn't like the costume. You want me to take it off? Yeah. Okay. Bit done. I wasn't planning on keeping the costume on him more than a little bit anyways. Whoops. Okay. Yeah. You gotta be freed. How is everyone doing? It is nice to see stuff's going well. Yeah. I hope you like the real high quality LCE badge I've got going on. I encountered a little bit of problems earlier today. I made an actual like proper like I say proper, but like a decently proper like recreation earlier, and I was gonna print it, but I couldn't. So I had to make do with what I could find, that being graph paper and a marker. What are you thinking, Gregor? Yeah? Yeah? You excited? You know what this is? Yeah, pumpkin? He's quite intrigued, as you'd expect. Very weird looking. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. True. All right. So, as I mentioned in like the, okay, I guess is volume and stuff all fine? I hope it is. It's hard to tell because my mic's like far away, so it might be weird. I guess just let me know. Give Gregor the pumpkin's insides. I will not be doing that because I know it can be fine for dogs or whatever, but Gregor's a big baby, and anytime he eats something that isn't his normal food, he gets sick. So I'm not going to do it. Okay. So right here in front of me, I've got a very high quality. Ignore like the Hohenheim ID like badge shaped hole in this. Very high quality stencil we're going to be using. What my plan was originally I had one of these made. I was going to print it out. I was going to print this out, all this sort of thing. Come this morning, I learned that all the printers out of order. I can't use any of them, so I've just had to settle with what I can get. Yeah, there we go. We've got the traced Lord Hong Lu onto graph paper. It works roughly the same. Like, that'll be good enough. Don't you think so, buddy? He agrees. He's very agreeable. Yeah, I've got all my tools here. This is the same like carving kit thing I used like last year, that sort of thing. It's got a little bit of everything. I'll need to remember what tool does what again. The one thing about pumpkin carving is it's kind of hard for it to be something you reasonably get super good at because you only do it once a year. But that's fine. Last time I'd literally never done it before, and this time I've done it once before, and that's a whole world of difference. Might be easier since you have your time marking the pumpkin. Yeah. Well, easier time marking the pumpkin is like hard to say if it'll be easier to mark the pumpkin because this is a relatively complex thing. It's the Dante one had a lot of like curves. It was kind of hard to get like circles to look good because I'm not good at drawing circles, anything like that. Also, there's a little like smudge on my screen. I keep on seeing it and it's bothering me, so I'm gonna deal with that. There we go. But this should be good. Anything else worth going on? Oh, unlike last year, I'm so much more prepared because I've actually got a light to put inside of the pumpkin. Wowie, who would have thought? Who would have thunk? Maybe the side, what's the side? This side? Yeah, okay. It's a little bit, there's a little bit, it's not like the best pumpkin, but it's got one side that's like actually really solid, so I'm going to be using that side. Come back to the mod of, you know it. Oh, you know it. No Runa post this time. Yeah, it's on the wall over there. I got some other various thingies. Oh, but you know what I do have? I've got the creatures. La creaturas, as they say. And honestly, that's a big difference. That'll make up for the lack of the Ruina poster. And you can't forget about the fabled third critter, who I have hanging on my wall over here. For Kermit the Frog here. I can't do a decent. I can do a fine Kermit impression. It's not great. Yeah, that's hanging up on my wall there. So if anything, if there's ever any need for that, yeah, you're being Jeff the Killer tomorrow. Hype. There's like I said, Auto. Yeah. Gregor, what are your thoughts on the Minato? He's not too perplexed by it. I gotta actually had it like standing in a decent position for. Can I get that? Yeah, that's good. Okay, cool. That's probably better. But if Gregor's probably gonna knock into it and it's gonna fall down and scare him. You think so, buddy? Big baby dog. You can have the chair. Do you want the chair? Is that a no? Okay, cool. My chair then. If Gregor doesn't want it, I'll take it. Oh, hi. He's a little weirded out by the costume, I think. Oh, hi. Yes. Yes, I love you, dog. Big dog. Chris Kermit, yeah. It's on the wall right there. Average male living space, true. I've got all sorts of things. And does the hairstyle mask speak to me like the Green Goblin? Yes. He's just a big baby. He is. Last year he needed plenty. There was plenty of Gregor breaks to give Gregor attention when he needed it. It's going to be the same this year. Don't you think so? What do you think? He's not much of a thinker. Getting down? Okay, well, don't think there's too much to do as far as other stalling actions. That's a good way. Actually, maybe if I could move my mic a bit closer, and then approach the critters based on that. Oh, Gregor's showing an interest in this Gregor. The big Gregor will eat the little Gregor. Very scary. Not a single thought behind its big beady eyes, indeed. Something like that could work. I don't know. I guess I could just put them on the back. Yeah, that'll work decently enough. This is also where I keep my stack of graph paper, in case I need it in the future, you know? I'll use that to my advantage. That works. Oh, Greg was eating. His food and water's right there. Okay. Let's see. Yes. First things first. I can move this back a little bit. I don't want it being in frame. Funny music. It's more or less the same playlist from last year, but I added a couple more songs. It'll loop at some point. It's like an hour and a half of music, but that's fine. Okay, I should cut this up first. Don't want to have to tape the entire thing. Yeah, it's a little bit weird because, he's got the giant, Guandao. That's okay. I just do a big square and that'll work fine enough. I can, cut a big chunk of it out if I need be. Kind of like the big question for the actual carving is going to be what parts I carve and what parts I, scrape, right? Because the main thing I learned last year is that scraping is a super useful technique in order to get more detail without sacrificing the stability too much. Because I could just cut out the entire thing, but that'd be lame. So I'm gonna try and get some of the details in there, if nothing else. Better than last year. That's the fun. Portrait Simulator. It's like drawing basically. And the thing is, it's not a super large thing, so that'll make up for it, right? Because the Dante was kind of like a big circle, right? I can't go to well, but it was like a decent chunk of it. Just when it's like a much smaller part of the pumpkin, so I can't imagine it's too bad. It'll be fine. Get rid of this. Dog's drinking water. God, I'm so bad at pointing. Yeah. What? I can also move to the side if it gives a better angle, which honestly might be the case. Gives Gregor more space. So it's this side. Like there. And I kind of want to make it so like this part especially is like centered. Like something like that could be really good. Yeah. Okay, let me actually get the tape ready first. Like that. Yes. Okay, cool. The first piece of tape has been put down. This marks the beginning. And then what it's let's see. Funny music. What is it, buddy? Where is he? He's over here on this side of the table now. I think if I get a pair of scissors and then like I like make like incisions on the side, right? Really is spooky music true? Then if I do like some stuff like this, I can get it to be taped a little bit better. Right? Yeah. Yeah. What's that about? Gregor's growling out the window. Who knows what he sees? Oh, there's a dog. Why am I not surprised? Okay. And then just gotta just tape up every junction. And that should be fine. Yeah, it's kind of scary. What if I do something like that? Is that better? Yeah, kinda. Cool. Or taking too long is taking too long, indeed it is. Okay, there's a little thing here. What if I really don't, I'm not very good at this cutting into the paper in ways to, like, reduce the, weirdness. That is the correct terminology, I'm sure. I'll need to fold it a little bit there. That's fine, I think. This is going perfectly fine. Trust me. Okay, let me actually do something funny. Actually, what if I'll close this out. There we go. Okay, cool. Sorry, I just had to... Just messing with some stuff. Is that an issue? Wait. Okay, cool. It's always so janky when I do this, because the main thing about, like, having it so my camera's set up here and this sort of thing is I don't have access to my second monitor, because, like, it would be a nightmare to bring that on top of my actual laptop, but that's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. Okay, let's see. Let's get the hand down. Now we can get the Guandao. Then we can get the Guandao Guan down. How humorous. Such a jokester. I'm ripping it now. It's working fine. Like I don't rip it too much. And then a little bit more cutlery here, cutlery. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, cool. That looks good enough, I'd say. I don't know how easy it is to see. I mean, the issue with pumpkin carving is, like, I'm gonna be in the way most of the entire time. Them's the brakes. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's good enough. I might as well just keep on taping up the various other portions so nothing falls off, but looks pretty good. Cool. And luckily, if I need to look at the actual image at any point in order to use that as like a reference as far as like not making things look bad, that's why it's on the screen. Wowie, there he is. It's him, Lord Honglu. Doing his best. That part's annoying me a little bit, but I don't know if there's any good way to deal with that. It'll be fine, I just might need to be weird about carving it. Okay, cool. That's this part done. How well can it be seen? Decently enough. Like, the glare is a bit enough. Yeah, okay, cool. That's looking good. Now to figure out what tool to use. There's like a... What is it? It's like a... Do I just stab it a bunch? Is that it? That might just be it. Okay, I remember using the scrapers a bunch. That's one of the things I should have really rewatched my last year's stream or something, just so I could refamiliarize myself with all that sort of stuff before I eventually end up going through it all exactly again now. Curve knife. Oh, and luckily I've got eye protection, so I won't poke my eye out. I didn't even think about like the positive advantages of this costume. Wowie. Okay. Where to start? Actually, I'm gonna do the thing. God. Okay, there we go. I think doing it like this is probably going to be the most convenient way to be able to see it myself and actually show it off at the same time. That over there, sure. Mouse over there. Cool, cool. And now I just gotta start carving this. Or not carving, marking it. Did I really use the big knife last year? Is there not like a little poker? There's gotta be like a little poker. Is one of these little poker? This one? I guess so, that's kind of pokery. And then if I just kind of start, like, stabbing in the holes I want to... Yeah, I might just need to use the big knife. And yeah, something like this. Okay, the good thing about using the knife that makes it so viable is that because it's like a little like it's like a slit instead of a single point, so I can kind of like get a good idea as to like the anglings of this sort of stuff. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, right, and it leaks pumpkin juice all over the paper. I mean, that is a little bit of an issue. It should be mostly fine, but it does mean that it might be an issue for the ink. You can already see like a bit of the paper there is kind of starting to like fall apart. It's out of the way. God. At least I've got more room to do this than last year, where I was doing this on top of a dresser. Definitely gonna carve out this part, so I'm not too worried about that. That should be solid. And once I actually like, also the good thing about the Guandao is once I like have done the markings and whatnot, I can probably just get rid of this part entirely. Since it's so separate from the rest of it, if I were to just kind of like peel it off and like cut it out, that could work well. And it's a good test run to figure out what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of this, right? Yeah. What does Halloween need? Indeed. Needs funny little pumpkins. Ideally ones that don't, steal away all of a librarian's cards and result in you having to wait for them to patch said realization because one of your librarians got turned into a pumpkin and there's no way to deal with it. That was a funny little bug in Ruina. When they first released Chesed Realization, the Jacks, which are like the little pumpkin guys in the Ozma fight, um, if you failed the gimmick for the Ozma phase of Chesed Realization, you'd suffer. Don't even joke. Oh yeah, Mr. Number One Ozma fan. Okay. I think I've gotten like the markings in now. God, I don't even remember some of the music I put in this playlist. I was like, what is that? It's Pikmin. Pikmin. Let's try peeling this off. Okay. That's not bad. It's a little bit weird, but I can pretty easily tell like like the curves and stuff. Okay, this'll work. There's a bit of paper stuck to this, but I can wash it off when the time comes. Yeah, okay. I'm liking a look at this. Okay, that was kind of the easy part, though. I guess the easy part's gonna be the hill to the Guandao, because that's just straight line city. Such a glare. I wonder if I can... that's funny. I don't think I even noticed one of my light bulbs is out, huh? That is quite funny. What if I were to try and... I gotta do it here. It's pretty dark. Don't know if there's a good way to stop it from being so glary. But yeah, so if we... So you can see the Guandao holes there. Does a pretty good job of showing it. I honestly might be able to just straight up make cuts for some of these parts. Like for the Guandao. God. It's probably stupid to do this so close to my face, but like, what's the worst that could happen? Try going for a proper cut here. It does tear up the paper a little bit. That's not good. I guess I can do, like, proper cuts with, like, breaks from time to time, and that might work well. As I say, live a little. So true. Actually, wait, am I supposed to hollow out the pumpkin before I do this? No, right? Surely I... What did I... It's not hollowed yet. I don't know if I made that clear. I gotta do the scoopage. Um, is that something I should do before or after that? I feel like it'd be a hassle to do it, to hollow out the pumpkin and then do a lot of this basic, like, marking stuff. I guess it doesn't matter too much for the markage. For this part, it's probably easier to do it now compared to waiting on it. Okay. Bottom section should be decent. Didn't actually make sure that mark is made. Cool. Mark applier. Mark has been applied. Whoops, don't get rid of that part yet. Yeah, so like making full cuts worked fairly well, it seems. Okay. I need a place to put all that, the trash, actually. Maybe I should get, like, the bowl out already. Oh, Gregor's just laying on the floor by my chair. You can't see him because he's... Oh, there, yeah, you can see him. Be careful about jumping up on me when I'm holding a big knife, buddy. Gregor's sleepy. Last year did the carving balloons first and then carve it off screen. So if it works, it works. Okay. This should be fine. Get all the markage in and then figure the specifics out from there. Big hole, okay. I'll just use this for trash. I'll need to have, like, something to put all, like, the insides in once that part's dealt with. Stiffen the bowl, buddy. Back to it. Did it mark this yet? No, okay, cool. Now I gotta get to the hand. I gotta be a little bit more cautious with the hand, because, like, the hand is small. It's baby. Lord Honglu's got a very baby hand. Wow, wow. I guess I don't care too much for the specifics of the hand, since that's probably gonna get carved out entirely. Yeah. Okay. Peel all this stuff off. Yeah. It's quite stuck. I guess there's still tape here. That's probably doing it. Yeah, quite a bit of paper gunk. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. That's what the bowl is for, but I don't know if I can get this off my fingers easily. God. Trash bowl. Oh god, that's like the graph is like inscribed in on it. I'm very good at this. Oh. Discord ping sound effect. Awesome. I need to close that. Shh. Alright, thank you, Windows. Alright, thank you, Windows. You can stop now. Okay. Hopefully that stops it now. Okay, so let's see how clear it is. Yeah, it's not looking too bad so far. That's pretty clear That part is weird. I do think the outline of the body probably won't be too bad overall. I don't think. Maybe I should rotate my camera a wee bit. There we go, that'll work. Should be decent, I'd think. Start from here. It really is such a danger hazard, like, holding this knife so close to my eyes so frequently. I'm sure I did it like this last year. Like, the motions are coming back to me. I'm almost certain these motions are the wrong motions, but if they're coming back to me, then there's, like, gotta be some, like, correctness to them. Even if not by, like, the definition of someone who actually knows what they're doing, but by my own definitions. Okay, cool. And I'll do the occasional, like, full cuts from time to time if there's just a big straight path I know I can abuse. Yeah, it's going pretty well. It's looking bearable. Like a bear. Like the animal. Like the big and scary bear. I guess in the meantime, while I'm doing this sort of thing, banter time. Funny Wallp announcement, Hanafuda. That's pretty cool. It's honestly just kind of weird to me that they're Wallp when they've shown up in the main story. I think it'd be equivalent if, like, the first World Purchase, like, we got, like, an Olga ID. Like, it would be kind of weird. Oh, wait, no. I was like, wait, didn't this song play already? No, it was a different Deltarune song. I was like, surely we haven't gotten to the point where it's looping a playlist already. No, but it will get to that point in, like, an hour. I really did not get that much music prepped. Okay. I think I'm marking this well. I think the plan will be, I'll probably, like, I don't know how much of this sim I can actually carve out. A little weird, I guess. We don't know what they did to Hanafuda and Allen. Yeah. I don't know, like, it's very interesting to me that they are, well, honestly, like, I am super glad to get more discard stuff, because, like, DHA Honglu is still my favorite ID in the game. It's a lot of funny stuff they can do with discard. I mean, question is if they'll do funny stuff with discard, or if it's just gonna be, like, Molar Otis, and it's just discard just to spam more skill 3s. We've definitely been getting a decent bit more IDs recently that have the ability to use more frequent skill 3s, right? Stuff like how Lord Honglu can allow IDs to use skill 3s when it's not ready. Stuff like how Love and Hate Dawn, the actual ego, makes it so that Love and Hate Dawn, the identity, gets another skill 3 in the rotation. And then obviously stuff like how Warp Heathcliff allows him to use a defensive skill and then he'll get a skill 3 just for free in a few turns. He gets immobilized for it, so it's definitely a big downside, but I think that's a very clear sign that they'd be more willing to do more discard stuff. Because I think that's the main reason why discard wasn't messed with too much up until recently. Because of how much discard A's get an advantage as far as their, like, skill cycle. I keep on seeing movement out of the corner of my eye and, like, taking a look at my screen, and it's just the song changing. Okay. That's, like, the entire, like, bottom half of the outline done. I think, yeah, you can kind of see because it's very dotted-y. God, I need to not get so close to the mic so frequently, probably. That's probably not good for it. Or not good for the audio quality, I should specify. So then another question is, sort of what I'm going to do is how much I'm going to do as far as adding details to the middle. No, not that middle. Bum, 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 bum. Add that to the playlist. It's not a Halloweeny song at all, but it is a banger. And sometimes that's what counts. I'm definitely picking up pace now. No, I'm getting back into the swing of things. The swing of things. I've seen some people think that it could possibly end up being that for Walt we get something that isn't Alan. I think some people are skeptical because of the fact he's like star of the city. But also at the same time, like I think whenever you try and like scale characters, like single characters on like the city power scaling level, it's a little weird, right? Because the thing is, Alan himself isn't Star of the City as much as the Night Owls in total are, because it's an actual like syndicate. Alan's not even the head of the syndicate. He's like the second in command. I don't even know if he's necessarily stated to be second in command. But like he himself alone probably wouldn't even be a Star of the City level, like compared to like not like something like like a color fixture obviously is a color level on their own. They don't need any help for it. But like something like Donghuan, right, where he's a Star of the City and it's all him by himself. Like he's definitely to that level, but it's kind of saying Donghuan is on the same level as like a random thumb grunt. And besides, all this stuff isn't even like actual power scaling like metrics, right? It's more so intended to be like as much as how much of a threat they are to the city, not how much of a threat they are to for the average power scaler. It's not whether or not they can beat Goku. It's how many rich people's lives are they going to impact? Because we know status matters a lot in determining that sort of thing. Because I think they say as much in Ruina, right? The only reason why. What am I thinking? I'm thinking it's something about like how like stuff like Puppeteer got raised like super fast because he messed with like high up executives when he was puppeting people on the warp train. And stuff like how crying children actually attacked a nest. And that's a big no-no compared to, something like if it just hit a back streets. It is nice streaming. I've definitely been on quite the I've definitely been not engaging in a lot of like streamy type stuff much recently. Like even for the Arknight stream, I streamed me pulling and doing like the first little bit of the event, but I didn't really stream me doing most of it. I do really enjoy streaming. It's just at a point where I've been doing so much, like I've done so much Limbus content in the past like few years that it's nice taking like a bit of more of a extended break from doing too much. Like Daily Mirror Dungeon, never coming back. When there's a new Mirror Dungeon, will I do stuff for a little bit? If it's interesting, sure. Okay, I'm working on the hair right now, so it's a lot of like spikes. And I'm really not sure how well that's gonna transfer over to the dotting side of things. This song is not Halloweeny at all, but it's a banger, so it gets the pass. It's also so funny how I have it set up to show what song's playing, but because of how the songs are set up on SoundCloud, it's really just saying the game it's from most of the time. Truly incredible. There's probably a better way to go about doing it. Oh well. That's not my problem. I do like yapping a lot. I'm just yapping as I'm just chipping away at a pumpkin. It's nice. And I'm almost done the main outline. I'll have to do some details inside, because there's some stuff I want to make sure I get marked. Even if not too much detail-y stuff. I've almost done the full outline now, though, so that's nice. And we're like 40 minutes into the stream. A lot of that's just been antics, though, setting up sort of stuff, messing with Gregor. And Gregor, of course, is currently sprawled out on the floor right over there that you cannot see. Okay, okay. Yeah, so you can kind of see, like, where I kind of got a bunch of the details in, I need to drop this one doing this. Yeah, where I've got a lot of the details coming in, like, there's definitely a little bit of, like, tear, but it should be pretty fine. Overall, like, you can definitely, I think you can very clearly see how the outline is done just because it's so much bolder than the rest of it. Okay, cool. And so I think my plan is, as far as the inside stuff, I'm gonna mark out, like, the skin and any of, like, the red parts. I should have, like, a visible cursor or something. Actually, is there... Actually, there's a funny way I can do this that I frequently do it and isn't there. Let's see. Yeah, okay, the Gregor cursor. Let's see. But yeah, like, it's focusing on, like, the pointer of the cursor. Like the any of, like, the red areas, I kind of want to carve that out, I think. Or maybe I want to... Or... Because I'm trying to think, I want to do something interesting with it. Maybe the bit I could do is the red stuff is the only parts that I don't carve out. And, like, I do it so, like, the skin color and, like, the hair thing, like, the weapon, those are fully carved out, and any of the black areas is just, like, shaded, or not, what's the word? Scratched? Skimmed? I don't remember the term you use for it. But that sort of thing, because that could work decently. I'll keep that Gregor cursor for later, though. That could be surprise tool that'll help us later. After all. Skimmed, yeah. Ugh. My hand is all gross from, like, the graph paper, like, melting onto it. No reason to bother washing it off now or anything, since it'll... I mean, still being weird. Since it'll, remain an issue for at least a while. God. Yeah. Yeah, time to mark the red parts. The blindfold, right? It's interesting to me how prevalent, like, this whole idea of, like, red, like, bandages slash, like, ribbons, like, wrapping characters is just kind of overall in Limbus. Because obviously, stuff like the Binds Egos, that's all about that. You could argue something like Roseate Desire is similar. That's more pink, but it's kind of like that same sort of thing. But now, like, we've got, like, the bandage that Honglu has, the blindfold that's especially prevalent in Lord Honglu. And then there's also the one, like, image of Ryoshu from one of the early trailers where it shows Ryoshu being kind of, like, entrapped in red binds. It's one of those ones from a super early trailer, so it's like Velmori, that sort of thing. Very interesting. There's a lot of, like, theming stuff that's, like, repeated so much throughout Limbus. The one that mainly comes to mind is how much, like, flower imagery there is. It makes a lot of sense as flower imagery is just really popular in general, because, you know, people like flowers. Not really super surprising. But, like, you've got stuff like the, Carmelia's, like, spice bush for Dongback. Ishmael doesn't have anything notable. Heathcliff has, like, the heath flowers. Dawn's, you know, Battle Pass Ego is a big flower. And then there's, like, the flower petals and stuff related to that for Honglu, too. It's probably gonna be more flower imagery. Very common. I mean, it's one of those... It's just such a frequent thing to see. Not super shocking. Okay, now that I've gotten, like, the face details, it's just getting a bunch of these other random details in here somewhere. Which basically just means I'm gonna just cover a lot of this. I'm gonna mark a lot of, like, the red areas for potential funnies later. A lot of binding, flower imagery, yeah. Not shocking, because PM loves their repeated uses of various theming stuff, but definitely unique. Probably some other things that get repeated a lot that I'm just not thinking off the top of my head. Funeral abno we've yet to see surrounded by flowers. There's some other flowery type abnos, isn't there? Like, we have Thrill, and we haven't seen whatever Porcubus aberration type thing that, like, belongs to. I assume it's Percus aberration. Yeah, like, that's not even, like, there's several flower abnos other than just, like, that, like, because then there's also, like, Sign of Roses, right? Very notable flower-themed abno. Some more? I don't think Monkey Tree counts as flowers. Sorry, Monkey Tree. I know you do your best, but it's just not in the cards for you, buddy. I do hope Monkey Tree ends up being a big... Like, Monkey Tree is one of those... Because Monkey Tree is the one that you get Thunder Branch from, in case you don't remember, but, it's the one that seems like... It's like a wish-granting tree or something, isn't it? Maybe I'm kind of assuming stuff there, but it always gave me, like, Monkey's Paw type vibes. For whom the bell tolls. Two Monkey's Paw, like, in a way, if we get to see what it deals. Yeah, because, I mean, the main thing... The Abno check doesn't give us much, like, lore type things. Because it's, like, you water the plant, right? That's the bit. And I don't know whatever that could entail, but it's definitely weird. Okay, cool. Probably getting close to being able to remove the paper entirely. Just a couple more shapes I want to impale. And then we'll be looking luscious. The world of the luscious. Maybe, yes, next year I'll do Ricardo. It'd be a raw pumpkin. Probably a little too soon to be thinking about what I'll do for a pumpkin next year. But, that'd be funny. I wonder if there's any other funny things like pumpkin carving that could be funny to do on stream. I remember a funny idea that I did have that I didn't go with because, it would probably be a bit too weird, but, like, what do you say, like, egg painting, egg decorating for, like, Easter, and then doing, like, a nothing there egg or something? Something like that could be pretty funny, I don't know. Just a random idea I had and didn't go through because, that's a little too weird, probably. Seeing Globworm ran with the very cool ministries and read option analyze. Same thing, Limbs observation. Yeah, the observation logs in Limbus are weird because they're observations and they're not like stories about it. We only know as much as the sinners know, right? And that it can be interesting stuff, but it's not as in depth as something like the Lobcorp Abnos. In general, Abnos and Limbus are so much weirder because Abnos were designed to work around Lobcorp, and they don't work nearly as well in Ruina or Limbus. Ruina does decently enough with them, but it's based on the idea of them being from Lobcorp. Abnoic forms would be kind of... Well, yeah. Who knows? Maybe I'll revisit it next Easter if I'm feeling it, but it's a weird thing to do because that's not, like, nearly as common a thing as, like, pumpkin carving is. It's an idea. Okay, but I think I've got it, like, carved out pretty well now. Yeah, it's hard to see there, but you can tell by all the tears that I've done a decent bit around the middle. And the thing is, if I ever don't actually want to do as much detail as I have, like, marked on this, I just don't need to because I'm going to be carving it out anyways. I'm going to see how well I can peel this off. Ooh, I'm not going to be able to peel this off very well at all. Let's get rid of all the tape first. Taper. Tapier. Like the animal. Yeah, this is a bit of a hassle. Yeah, I think that's all the tape removed, and it is still quite stuck on there. I'm definitely gonna need to wash this off. That's how it was last year, that's fine. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's how it goes. It would be like this even if I wasn't using graph paper, I think. And this is how it was last year. It's still perfectly fine. I just need to, like, spend some time washing it off, I think. Yeah. Only so much I can peel. This is what the mold's for, though. I can at least peel a decent chunk of this off. Shoutouts to the bowl. That's my goat. Yeah, the bowl's not helping that much. I mean, I say like the bowl's doing anything. Okay, it's looking good, though, I want to say. Obviously, it's still hard to get too many deals, but you can very clearly make out the general shapes. However visible this ends up being. Not super visible. Whatever, okay. Let me go wash this. And I guess because the sink's right there, you can vaguely see me. I don't think much of him actually at the sink. Yeah, not really. Oh well. Wash it off. Okay. It's looking pretty good, I want to say. Still gonna wash a little bit off. I can see that. That's not bad. Gregor, keep them entertained. Gregor, you've got one job left. No, you're gonna eat food. You're hungry. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, but you can see me washing the or wiping down the pumpkins. That's probably cool. Okay, yeah. This is very clear. Just take a look at this. How clear is that? I don't know if it's super. I think you can probably make it out if I like. But if I were to like try and like shade it. Yeah, you can see that, I think. Yeah. Pretty clear, I want to say. Not bad. The reflection doesn't help, but I'll tell you that it's decently viewable for me, I want to say. Yeah. And then I guess, do I trace over it now, or do I start carving it? I don't even know if I need to trace over this. This is pretty clear already. Still a little bit of graph paper stuck here and there. Eh. It'll get out when I carve it through. Okay. probably a solid time to start carving it out. I remember this all too well. It just explains what each of the tools do and what you're supposed to use each for, and I'll probably use it roughly correctly. Okay, so saw blade first, it seems. And that's this one. I guess I'll move around to the front for this part. Donggang to be denying all. If I got in a white lab coat instead, I could have just said I was Donggang. That's a funny idea to think about. Okay, so... I mean, I think the plan is I just... Yep. I just start carving in. I'm probably not supposed to do this towards me, huh? Weird doing it away from me. Whatever. This part's not... It's not super important that I get, like, a good circle for this or anything, because, like, ideally this is the part you don't look at too much. Yeah, that's decent. I think I should do it like at a bit of a diagonal angle. So I think if I do it at a diagonal angle, then it'll stay attached better or something, probably. I don't really know what I'm doing for the most part. It's just vibes, mainly. What's the side where the front is on? I passed it, didn't I? Okay, this isn't... Okay, I hear it. Okay. Yes, it's there. Yeah, that's probably not, a good sign for my whole... Oh no, it's perfectly viewable, guys. Trust me. Side of things, but that's fine. Yeah, almost full circle. Gotta connect it, and... Cool. There we go. Now it's a scoopage part, and this part's super awkward, isn't it? It's so hard to, like, cut anything. Yeah, okay, cool. We're good, and it's like this? Yeah, okay, that doesn't seem like it'll fall in. Alright. I need to get paper towels, I think. For the sake of everything. Ew. Just somewhere so I can put my used tools and whatnot. Shouldn't need the scissors or tape anytime soon, I don't think. Not at all, not at all. No, Chris. This is fine. Well, okay. Now we get the big scooper. Let me see how this goes. Oh, there's not too much on this top part. Maybe I, like, saw a chunk of this off. What about the others? Something like this. I can probably cut off a good chunk of the parts I don't want, that being the slimy stuff. Free up storage space. Your computer's running low on storage space. That's not good. Okay, yeah, that works well. Ugh, God, it's always so slimy. Don't like it. I'm not supposed to like it, I suppose. Okay. What are you gonna do with the pumpkin guts? I don't know. Ah. Run out of storage space, it seems. That's mean. Okay, that should be fine. I saw it being like, oh, you don't have no storage space, and I'm like, oh, I'm probably like running low, but I'll be fine for a while. Nope, out of storage space right now. Sure as the insides of a pumpkin. You can see the pumpkin seeds moving around. God. I feel like if I give any sort of pumpkin seed-based anecdotes, I probably gave it last year or two, but I loved pumpkin seeds when I was a kid. I wouldn't eat them or anything, I'd just like to play with them. I'd use them as like tokens and play games with my siblings using the pumpkins as tokens and indicators of wealth and currency and the like. Why I hold fond memories for pumpkin seeds of all things. I guess there's worse things to hold fond memories for. Yeah, my laptop has so little storage on it always because it's always taken up by so much school program stuff. Oh, look at this! Look at this delectable banquet of pumpkin seeds that's gonna get all over the table if I'm not careful. Yeah, we're chilling. That's Gore. That's Gore, my Pumper character. It's Gore of Jack from the Ozma fight. That's right. Where we've killed the Jacks. Good riddance, I guess. It's a funny gimmick. It's like, imagine instead of a pumpkin, it's like the one CG in LobCorp where they're scooping out Bina's brain, or I guess Garion's brain. Similar. Same difference. Ooh, a lot of seeds to be gotten. Look at that. Always so satisfying when you get a big chunk of them. Those puns in A. Yeah, we love having to hit them. They're mostly a fine gimmick, but it's one of those Abno fights where if things don't like if you don't interact with the gimmickly, like with just enough time, you're going to lose. Which is honestly mostly fine. Just had realization, like I honestly do not remember it being ever having too much issue with it. I had some issue with it when it first released, but that was because, the bug. I still beat it when it was bugged and one of your librarians was forced into Jack state. I was just that gamer. I was better than second play for some reason. Yeah, if you underestimate it, then it probably could be troublesome. Good job, me. Yeah, I've got a friend who's a big fan of Ozma. I need to get a tool to get the insides into the bowl. There we go. Yeah, decent. So far, we've got, it's basically just all pumpkin seeds. There's also some of the graph paper scraps from beforehand, which does kind of ruin the chance of me being able to use this for anything good. Still a lot of pumpkin seeds to go, though. That's fine. This step really isn't too bad. And it's kind of important, because the better job you do of scooping up all the insides, the longer the pumpkin will last. Now, I guess the good thing about me doing this only 2 days before Halloween is that if the pumpkin only lasts for like 5 days or something, it's fine. I remember last year it didn't last super long, but last year was kind of tragic. Last year I did it probably similar, like 4 days or something before Halloween. So I feel like I streamed that on like a Monday, and Halloween was, I assume, on a Thursday. You want to know what is hype though? Tomorrow, there's going to be a Halloween dog costume contest, and so I'm gonna take Gregor there, and he's gonna win everything with his cockroach costume he doesn't like. The good thing about the cockroach costume is the fact that it's a lot more set in place than the cape from last year, so Gregor is probably gonna be more fine with it. Like, if Gregor's outside with it, he'll probably forget about the cockroach costume, because it's basically just part of his harness. It is funny, because most of the, like, props and stuff I've used, like, that costume, like, the glasses I'm wearing, the coat I'm wearing, I all, like, ordered it, like, from Amazon, and I got, like, vaguely scammed on, like, every aspect of it. Because this coat was, like, a brighter blue in the images. I got scammed on that front, and these glasses, I mean, they're fine. They're definitely a little small, that's fine. Remember, you burned Ozma to death. As you should. If I just keep on rotating around, I can probably get a big chunk of the insides out at once. Not that big. I always forget how hollow pumpkins are. It's very weird. I started hammering nails in the coat. True. I did think of that. I did, like, look up, like... I was looking up, like, fake nails to see if there's anything good, but the only type of nails I was getting were, like, you know, fake fingernails. Would have been funny if I could get more various details into the costume, but yeah, I didn't realize the cockroach costume was going to be so small for Gregor. Probably find it that way. You're being very silly, buddy. He keeps on looking. So Gregor's bit that he's doing right now is he keeps on looking at his. I keep his leashes hanging right there, right? So he keeps on looking at them, trying to be like, can we go outside? The thing is, Gregor doesn't really, like, urgently need to go outside or anything. I took him outside like 6-ish, and he's usually fine for the night then. It's just because I'm up and about that he's like, okay, we should do something. Look at him. So attentive. Funny music. It's still a lot of pumpkin seeds. Honestly, this pumpkin I feel like had a lot less, like, actual guts than last year's. Using this, I can create a very incorrect statistic and then base that off of it. This must mean pumpkins are, like, reducing the number of guts they have each year. My 2 data points is enough to prove this. Oh, dropped a pumpkin seed. Does Gregor care? Gregor didn't care at all. Oh, I dropped it again, but Gregor once again didn't. He's, like, watching it, but he doesn't register it as, like, edible, I don't think. And even if he did, he wouldn't be that interested in it because he doesn't care most of the time. Where's my phone? There it is. Let's take a gander at the interior. Okay, yeah. This is not going to be too bad. There's definitely a decent chunk of guts here and there. Yeah. Hard to tell with the glasses probably aren't helping, honestly. But yeah, you can see quite a few chunks of pumpkin seeds still in there. I've only been, like, scooping for, like, a few minutes now, so it's fine if this part takes a little bit. I'm honestly in no rush. I can, like, go on for, like, another, like, 4 hours if it needs to. It shouldn't. I can't imagine I'll need that long. And honestly, by that point, I'll probably be worn out. Like, my goal was, like, maybe get this done in, like, 3-ish hours. That's why I started 3 hours before maintenance ends, right? Maintenance should be ongoing right now. Because that's funny timing, so. I did, like, a, chunk. I did a single 10 pull on the banner, and I managed to get Warp Heathcliff, but I didn't really feel the urge to go any further from her, since I could just wait a week. I've got, like, 250 pulls saved or something, so I'll be fine for Walt. I guess a lot of people have been saying it's a very skippable Walt, and, like, I guess that's true, but the thing is, if the plan was that they didn't want to do a story for this Walt, it's for the best it didn't end up being huge or something, right? Honestly, I'm not sure, like, how people in general feel about Walt overall. Greg's got its way. But, like, if they just stopped doing Wulp stories entirely, I'd honestly be fairly fine with that. Because that's kind of, like, leaning more into the territory of, like... I honestly think Wulp upside stories are cooler to me than actually seeing the characters in, like, weird, like, semi-existing, not really existing scenarios. Okay, Discord's first find me. Yeah. I think that'll be fun. And Alan could have a lot of funny gimmicks to him. Because kind of, Alan's claim to fame in Ruina, well, it was just Pierce, the fact that he buffed Pierces and debuffed, like, everything else, so you really wanted to go mono Pierce on him. But the part that I was found interesting is his passive Chicken One's Armor. Because that passive made it so that if he had a high speed difference, he could just straight up delete an enemy's block dice without even, like, just, like, fully. And so if they incorporate something similar to that in Limbus, like maybe make it so like when he like if he's clashing up against like a clashable guard skill, if he wins the clash when he's got like 3 more speed, he just doesn't have to deal with like the damage negation side of things. Something like that could be really strong. Just make it so we've got someone who's because we've kind of gotten a shockingly small amount of IDs that really make use of enemy defensive skills, I feel. And it's kind of a weird way to phrase it, because do we necessarily need something that interacts like that? Not really. Could be interesting. I could probably just start scooping stuff. I don't really want to scoop stuff out of my hands too much. I do not like how this sort of thing feels. Alright, can I get this? I've been trying to get this one chunk of guts out from the inside. I feel like I don't think about the Barber theme too much, which is a shame because it's a banger, but it's not really one that, like... I think I'm thinking of banger songs, like... I feel like this theme is not one I'd come up with, like, anytime soon. And I don't know why that is. It's fairly unique. Amazing with real outfits where wouldn't do anything. And I think that's fine. Tools that'll benefit you on certain situations. More IDs that are good against certain fights would be nice, right? Situationally good things. Like, it wouldn't need to be his only, like, benefit, right? It's similar to, like, I guess a good comparison would be something like how Captain Ishmael gets that weird 10% damage increase against sea monsters. Now, that's only 10% damage increase, so it's very little, but it just means that if you're going against sea monsters, you just get a little benefit. If you're not, she's still, like, a solid unit. I guess she's fallen off a little bit now, but, like, assist attack's still really funny. I love that assist attack. Diichi Honglu combo. Spam skill 1's gaming. Yeah. Should just go for the seeds at this point, honestly. If I go for the seeds, it'll probably be in a good enough state. I'll do the thing I did last year where I, like, scoop out... Or, like, I, like, rinse out the inside. Did she actually... Did you get the template on the cloud enemies? I think that'd be funny. I don't think so. Because it's specifically enemies that get that little sea monster tag. And the Seaborn had a unique tab, right? Tag? It was something different? Or no, it's... No, I'm getting it mixed up. No, Captain Ishmael's is for the lake entity tag. And so it's not sea monsters, it's lake entities. So stuff... I think the sea monster tag is what they used for the Arcanite stuff. Since that is what the Seaborn are referred to overall. Yeah, so I don't think she gets the buff unless there was some weirdness going on there. The collab was a lot of fun. As someone who's become quite a bit of a big Arknights fan in the past year, very enjoyable. Good stuff on both sides. I've, like, never really been a big tower defense fan, but Arknights is fun because I see it less like tower defense and I see it more like a weird Fire Emblem. I'm actually I think it's... I don't have a Switch 2 yet, but there's a lot of good Switch games coming out next year. I guess a decent chunk of the ones I'm excited for aren't even Switch 2 exclusives, right? New Rhythm Heaven, new Tomodachi Life. I think the new Fire Emblem is Switch 2 exclusive. There's a lot of fun stuff. The only hard of it is the Flash Pokemon Tower Defense games. Yes! I remember not liking those ones particularly, but they were Pokemon, so I played it, right? Shh. To younger me, that was enough. They love the game with the pulls you get. I might have Goated Arknights locked, but have you considered that you just need to lock in, so? Like, it's one of those things where, like, it compounds upon it on itself because, like, I I do like the Arknights main story stuff. I do the side modes. I get a lot of resources, I get a lot of pulls, and then I can get more good stuff, and then it kind of repeats from there. New Rhythm Heaven? Did you not see? We're getting a new Rhythm Heaven next year, yeah. Rhythm Heaven Groove. Very exciting stuff. I do love me a good rhythm. I do love me my Rhythm Heaven. Shh. Also means the Rhythm Heaven Studio stuff's updated. Maybe I'll do another Project Moon custom remix then. That is something I do kind of an interest in doing more of. I do have more of them like started, but the visuals are very weird, and I don't really want to do a custom remix without doing the visuals because that's like such a crucial part of the fun. What's Gregor doing? Oh, Gregor's laying under the table now. It's very rare for me to be like not at my desk at this hour, so Gregor is quite confused by what's going on. See, still some more seeds. Like I said, if I get all the seeds, I'd probably be satisfied then. Do I just start using my hands? I might as well. Roll up the sleeves. Don't want to ruin my very nice coat. Yeah. I don't like this. It's very funny whenever I see like posts that are people being like, "Oh, gaming is like dead" and stuff, because like there's been so much stuff that I like releasing, this year, like next year, all that sort of thing. Like we got Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4, and we got Silk Song this year. Like that's crazy. Probably like more random stuff that's very hype that I just can't think of right now. People say gaming that play Gun and Ball. Yeah, that's usually the trend. It's how it goes. It's like the guy who's looking at the wall and this. It's like the image of the two people on the bus. One guy's looking at the wall and is sad, and the other guy's looking at the beautiful scenery and is like chilling. That's how gaming be. Like obviously, like it is true that like AAA gaming is dying, but like that's such a small fraction of games at this point. But I'm still saying a week I was not okay. Yeah, I had beaten that game by day 4. Like, I got 100% now. And I did Steel Soul stuff too. Very fun game. It's also nice because stuff like I know some people didn't like the difficulty of Silk Song stuff, but I thought it was like perfect difficulty. Like, not once did I get annoyed at anything in the game. My bar for being annoyed by stuff in game is a little weird though. It definitely depends a lot game to game, but like I beat like Celeste, did Farewell, all that sort of thing, and really only ever like got annoyed by the core seaside. And that was less because of the stage itself, but because there were 2 times that I died after getting the part and I had to keep on doing it. as long as like the loss doesn't feel like if as long as the loss was under my control, I'm pretty chill. I think there's so many Symphony of the Night references inside of it. Yeah, I need to play Symphony of the Night. I've never played a Castlevania. Is there any I've played at all? I don't think I've even touched one. I really need to because I really like Hollow Knight stuff. I know Symphony of the Night's the fan favorite one, but I know there's a lot of good ones. I've played more Vampire Survivors Castlevania than Castlevania. I think I'm playing with the runbacks, honestly. I think only the girl one was bad, honestly. Now, granted, I took the funny exit or I took the funny entrance into Citadel, so like by the time I did Last Judge, I had already been in Act 2. But like, I don't think any of them are that bad, honestly. Gruul was rough though. I'm surprised they didn't do anything about Gruul, but honestly, it's fine there being one that's especially rough. Decent odds they end up adding something that's similar to like a Dream Gate in the DLC. I really just need to give us God Home already, though. I want to be able to deal with all the bosses again. There's so many fun bosses. There's only a couple bosses I think were genuinely just kind of lame. I don't think there's anything as annoying as like Umu, right? Hmm. Ugh. Okay, I've gotten a decent chunk of the way through all this stuff in this, I want to say. I've just been scooping with my hand for a while now, and I'm just getting slight little bits of pumpkin guts. That's honestly good enough. If I don't do it perfect, if the pumpkin only lasts a few days because I don't do it super well, I'm fine with that. I'm gonna wash out the inside though, because I think that helps or something. I guess we'll see. Kind of a funny transition there. Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. Pumpkin's nice and ready to be carved, I want to say. I'll move the bowl of intestines. Actually, no, I kind of need to keep it here, don't I? Yeah. I'm gonna need it. Also, I should probably rotate this back, shouldn't I? I forgot to change that all. I hope you guys do like my assortment of random goodies I've got in my shelves there. I used to have a lot of that stuff down and about, but I moved it, all up there because Gregor would gladly tear any of those toys to shreds. Wouldn't you, buddy? Let's just look at him. Look at the little demon he is. He likes when he's being talked to. Indeed he does. See something like that for you. Cool. Yep. Alright. That should be good for that side of things. I can put this back in. I don't really need to put this back in anytime soon. I'll just leave it there. Now, though, it's all hollowed up like the Hollow Knight. Now it's carving time. Gregor. I see you. Boop. I missed. I'm bad at booping. Let's move this there. Ah. Don't get any ideas, guy. Trickster, yeah. Yeah, I'll move. Why did I change the camera if I'm just gonna move back here anyways and want to rotate the camera again? Whatever. I'm very good at thinking. So much foresight on my part. Thank you, thank you. Whoops. Okay. Side is, yeah, it's this side. Okay. So. Rotate it down a little bit. It's very hard for you guys to see that. Okay, so. Let me pull the cursor back up, shall we? Here is my plan. I'm not going to carve any of the red parts. I'm going to... I've already forgotten the word again. Skim. I'm going to skim the black parts, and I'm going to cut out, like, the white parts, I think. And then we'll see from there. Maybe I just start with skimming everything that isn't the red parts. Yeah, that would make sense. We're almost at the point where the music might honestly loop after this one. That's fine. Yeah, what's the best way to go about doing this, I wonder? Should have looked at what I did last year, huh? Whatever. Is it just big carvy thingy? Probably not. I'd probably use one of the smaller ones if I had to guess. Actually, none of the smaller ones look reasonable to use whatsoever. It's probably just this, or was it this? Maybe I just knifed it. Okay, let's start. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm gonna start with once again, start with the Guandao. The Guandao is just a good part to start out with because, like, if the Guandao ends up being a little weirdly misshapen-y, like, oh no, not the Guandao. Guandao is also funny because it is a weapon. There's like, I think there's a Guandao of like different like origin in each of the 3 games, isn't there? Because obviously, like, Honglu uses a Guandao, Zhao uses a Guandao, but also I'm pretty sure Discord and LobCorp was a Guandao. Maybe it's a different, like, similar sort of, like, weapon like that. I could see it. Can I start carving at this? I'm kind of doing something weird for the Guandao where I'm kind of, like, gonna make it... I'm gonna give it, like, a little bit of, like, shading effectively. Isn't that fancy? It's a good jumping Guandao specific illustration on it. Yeah. I like the weaponry in Project Moon stuff. I'm supposed to use the other side for this, maybe, actually. That might be... Oh, that's so much easier than using the big side. Okay. Good to know, good to know. There we go. First, like, chunk taken out. But you can see my general plan here. This is like it's the... Okay. It's like the bright edge of the Guandao. Yeah, I like Project Moon weapons. It's why I want more workshop stuff so much. It's because the workshop weaponry stuff is also cool, and we've gotten so little workshop rep. At least it's better than the situation with the with like the tailors, how we've seen one group of tailors that apparently works weird, but we've gotten no basis to like why to like we've got no like thing to compare Carnival to. Like sure they're like making people they're making clothes out of people. Is that normal or is that special? They made Nuova fabric, so I'd assume it's something special, but like it's possible all clothes are made of people and they were just really good at making people clothes. Who knows? So it's like... Yes, okay, I see. I see. So that's the hand there. So then that's... Okay. I want to do something like there. Okay. Looks solid. Looks liquid. Like the snake. Never played a Metal Gear game. I should know that's one of the guys. Okay, and there's like a little chunk here. Yeah. Give it a little bit more. Should change it. I should. There's so many series I want to play. Honestly, my big issue, and it's the real reason why I don't play games very much, not nearly as much as I'd like, is I get like such bad like hand pain from gaming if I do it too much. Like it's such a huge issue, and it's one of the reasons why I appreciate games like Limbus and Arknights so much more, where there isn't a need for um me to use a controller or anything. I can just mouse it and be fine. And honestly, it's like my hand pains, like it started out real bad, like a little before Limbus released, so I think that ended up helping a lot with that. Something for me to play so much, it probably also contributed to why I grinded out Limbus so much, right? Although I say like I wouldn't do it anyways since I have Project Moon stuff. Okay. I've got like the Blade of the Guandao set up now. And then I think I want to skim the rest of it. And as soon as I catch the stream, yeah. Welcome. We have hollowed the pumpkin. We've gotten, like the rough idea step, and now we're starting out with getting some of the stuff done. Let me start scraping some of the Guandao blade. Okay. There's gonna be pumpkin all over the table. The good thing is any pumpkin that gets on the floor, I've got my dog to clean it up for me. How nice. Rotate this more. Cool, that's decent. If I do something like this, that works well too, but I can't see it nearly well enough then. Slow and steady. There's a little bit of a curve in the blade here. And that's a little awkward to incorporate, but I got it. I'm goated. Cool. That's the rough idea of what I'm trying to do there. How does that look? Decent. Not super skimmed, but that's fine. Doesn't need to be super skimmed. It should look decent without it. I kind of want to skim it a little more just so it's even, but I don't need to worry about getting too many of the specific detail-y stuff in immediately. Sure, a decent chunk of the stream is just going to be me going through and skimming things to appropriate proportions. Not bad. Yes, and then I want to skim the entire hilt, I think. Oop. Seems like the plan. Cool. Yeah, it's okay. Actually, I said I wanted to cut out the skin, so I'm gonna cut out his hand now, I think. So that means... Yeah, like there's gonna be a weird gap in the middle. Honestly, I'm probably just gonna cut out the entire hand, because I feel like it would be a nightmare for me to try and do it elsewise. Do not throw. Yeah, I'm just gonna not bother. That's like way too minute of detail for me. Okay, yeah. Bit of a square hand, but I can give it some more detail as time comes. Oh yeah, the song played already. Yeah, we're looping now. I didn't even think about that. I was just like, hee hee banger. Hee banger. Oh, we looping. We loop them. Call him the killer from Dead by Daylight. Something like that. Curve it out a little bit more. Okay, yeah. We got the hilt coming in place. And then, yeah, a hole for, like, the little silver glowy, pommel? Pommel. I don't know if pommel is necessarily the word when we're talking about, like, a spear-type weapon, but that's what they say for swords, so it's probably fitting up. There's gotta be a better knife I can use for this sort of thing, isn't there? I feel like I'm kind of throwing by using something like this in this situation. What's in this? Oh, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. This sort of tool. Yeah, like that. That probably works a lot better for carving these tiny, small chunks. Not as good as cutting as the saw is, of course, but that's to be expected, I think. Okay. I need to carve that a little bit harder, I think. I keep on blowing. I don't know why. I think I'm trying to treat it like blowing away like eraser threads. I also definitely noticed that the music sure is looping in the exact same pattern, I'm pretty sure. But that's fine. Is that a good enough start? Kind of like a decent bit of blockage in there. That's fine. I think that's a mostly pretty good start for this. Not sure if we're supposed to hear the music or not, lol. What do you mean? You're supposed to hear it, do you not? Or what? Can you hear music on my side? What? Has there not been... Have you guys not heard music this entire... No, there's... Is it really quiet? Oh, it might just be really quiet. Huh. Is that decent? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Is that decent volume? Hopefully it is. Let me know what you guys think. Hard for me to test it. Well, hopefully that hasn't impacted your viewing experience too much. Kind of weird if it's just quiet. Look if it's noticeable now. I'll buff it up a little bit more then. Like, I feel like I listen to music and stuff, like, super quiet. Compared to, like, most people. Like, I guess on stuff like my phone, like, I rarely have the volume setting set beyond maybe, like, 2 bars out of, like, the 10 or whatever it is. I really do not like loud music. Good enough? I think as long as I break the skin, it should be somewhat glowy. Yeah, okay. So these are the Guandaos looking so far. I think that's a good start. There's like there's some chunks stuck in it. God, I'm so bad at doing this one mirrored. Yeah, okay. I'm liking how that's looking. And then for the actual main body, I think there's gonna be a lot of skimmage. A lot of skimmage is going to be weird, though, because it means there's a lot to, like, maintain. I guess the one thing is, if there's a lot of skimmage, is I could have, like, varying, like, depths of skimmage. Maybe I do, like, a face next, though, or something. Maybe the hand. Yeah, the hand's actually a good call, because the hand is another part I want to cut out. And that's this one. Is this fine enough for me? Eh. There's gonna be, like, not a lot of parts that are fully cut out on this. But I can change that if I feel like that ends up being to its detriment. We love Deltarune. I'm not sure how popular of opinion this is for, like, Deltarune type stuff, but I didn't care for Chapter 1 that much when it first came out, honestly. I thought it was cool and all, but, like, I was not super... I don't think I was super invested into it. Like, of course, that all changed with Chapter 2. I love Chapter 2. It's so good. But I remember, like... And I like Chapter 1 now, that's the thing. Like, I think Chapter 1's still good. It just really didn't speak to me much when it first released. And it's vaguely relevant, because Chapter 1 sure did release on Halloween, right? Halloween 2018? 19? One of those two. It's hard to say which one. I remember it because I remember playing it on Halloween. Maybe there's just something wrong with me back then if I didn't like Chapter 1. I don't know, honestly. Is that good? Solid. Yeah, sure. So yeah, you can see big hole there. That's the hand. You cannot see it at all. I gotta quit on this. Wait. Here we go. You just gotta have faith in me that it's going decently. And then I go look at the face, too. I think face and crown. Is that really all I'm gonna cut out, though? That's kind of weird. So, Oh, that part's a little hard to see. It's like that, though. Yeah, okay, I got that. Slow and steady for this part, because, you know, the face is kind of important, so if I mess up and, like... Well, if I mess up and I, like, mess up, then that would be bad. Dog. Thing about using when I'm not using the saw, like, it doesn't cut all the way through nearly as well, so I kind of got to spend some time chipping away at it, but it's probably worth it for the increased precision I get. The head. Yeah, so you can see that's the head, that's the hand, that's the other hand, Guandao. I want to cut out the crown thingy, too. Honglu's crown is interesting, because that's the thing that's, like... Hey, wait, is... I don't know, actually. I'm gonna say something, but then I remembered I think I might just be wrong. That's not that big of a deal. Maybe, I don't know. The crown is being cut out. Scooping up the goop. The goop scooper. I kind of cut a bit more than I wanted to there. Oh, actually, that works well, I think. It always cracks me up whenever I see like one of those people like online who are like, "Oh, Mario is dead. They've killed Mario," just because there hasn't been like a new 3D Mario game announced for the Switch 2 yet. It's so funny. Some people will just like complain over anything. It's crazy. I don't know, the idea of Mario fans to me is just funny. Like the idea of like someone who like just plays Mario games and that just being like the main is so weird. RJ, they placed him with Diego now. Good riddance. Mario needs to pay for his crimes. Okay. Crown's looking... I mean, it's looking a little wonky. I won't be obtuse about it. But I think that's fine. Yeah, the crown's a decent enough starting shape. Okay, so I guess for my current plans, this is all I'm gonna be cutting fully through. Don't know how I feel about that. But anyways, the plan now, scrape out, like, skim, like, basically everything else that isn't the red parts. And that's gonna be weird. Maybe I knife it first, actually. Yeah, get, like, a good, like, starting incision point. That's actually probably pretty worthwhile. Especially if I can manage to do it without stabbing my eye out. That'd be kind of crazy, wouldn't it? Not stabbing my eye out, right? I guess stabbing my eye out would also be crazy, but, like, I'd rather not do that. The glasses are my goats. Maybe I'll start wearing these glasses more frequently as eye protection. Doesn't that sound like a wonderful idea? Okay, yeah. I think for, like, the body, this is the part where I kind of need to be a bit more cautious overall. Nice. Yeah, this is going well. And I can always take a good gander at the reference image, Lord Honglu. I remember finding it funny when people were trying to figure out what epithet to use for Lord Honglu, and some people were like trying to go with like Konglu. Obviously, like Kongchu, it makes enough sense on that front, but it's so funny because some people, I don't think it didn't really catch on, but that was what some people used for K-Corp Honglu. At least back in the day when that guy was relevant. It's so funny to think that was a relevant unit once. Honestly, like, that's one of the hardest fall-offs, when people realized, oh wait, being tanky but doing, like, no damage actually isn't very good. I think the same season we got that, the same season we got K-Corp Honglu, we got something like GHA Rodion, who can actually tank and do damage. A novel concept back then, as the biggest tanks were, like, Mariachi Sinclair, and, like, Gross Hammer Merso. The tanks were really sad at the start of the game. And it's so funny, because they were hyped up so much back then. Like Mariachi Sinclair, like, was so cool for, like, maybe a week, but then people realized, oh, wait, this guy's awful, even then. But, like, whoa, he can evade, he can solo. We can change anything. I actually don't think. I honestly think Keiko Ponglu isn't the hardest fall off or anything. I think that has to go to Chef Ryoshu because people use that unit like, and that unit used to be a good damage deal. Like, isn't that crazy? It feels like a weird thing to say because it's like a lifetime ago at this point. I don't think I've seen people like unironically use her in years. That's just kind of the breaks with gacha games, I suppose. Some units fall off, some old units stay vaguely relevant. Most of them fall off, though. It was still a pretty good stand by Chevrolet. It was just dead in the water compared to units. Yeah. Because the thing is, like, the good thing about K-Core Pong Lu is even now, there's not any units that can beat him in his own game of just living forever. So he's got that going for him, and he probably always will. I say that, but like, who knows? When we get K-Core Pong Lu being like being outscaled by at his own game, that's when you know the power scaling's gotten real bad. Funny idea too, because like I mean, I guess they could have something that K-Core Pong that's able to deal damage. But is it like effective 1,000 HP? That is actually decently effective because it's not something like I like the idea behind something like Golden Time on the T Corp units, but there's a pretty decent odds you just die before triggering that sort of stuff a lot of the times. Which is unfortunate, but that's how it goes. That's just how the story goes. Resting Karens again. Cool. Okay, that's like the body traced out. So here's how it's looking. Can you see it yet? Not really. Did I bother with the head yet? Honestly, let's just start working away at this, because this part's going to take a decent chunk of the time, especially if I want to do it without ruining everything. Rotate the pumpkin. Pumpkin rotate. That's already a pretty deep chunk. Ooh. Not good. It's fine. I think I underestimate how thick the pumpkin is sometimes. It feels so hollow, but like there's a pretty solid chunk of width to this thing. Decent chunk of girth. That's actually pretty good, yeah. Cool. Yeah, tracing that out with the knife first really helps this so much. Gives me like a foothold, so I don't need to kind of like wedge myself in there awkwardly. Yeah, looking good. Already a decent chunk. I don't know how popular. I don't even know. Like, I guess I say this like there's like a pumpkin carving meta or something. I don't know how popular it is to like make a lot of use of like skimming. I feel like it feels like one of those like forbidden pumpkin techniques. I'm sure it's frequently used or whatever, but like it feels like a taboo. And I'm still making use of it because it allows me to make a lot more complex type stuff, right? It gives me effectively a third color, right? That being the in-between, so it's not just the lit up and the non-lit up, there's also the in-between, and that's just super good to have. Illegal Lego techniques. Yeah, that's the sort of thing I'm thinking of, yeah. Like when you... What is it for Lego technique? It's like whenever you kind of like shove pieces, like when you take like one of those like plates and kind of like shove another plate in like weirdly, that's like an illegal Lego building technique or something, isn't it? It's not... The tool, huh? Where'd the head of the tool go? This was the skimmer. But the skimming part of the skimmer is just gone. It's just a stick now. What? I would commit a taboo on the city. Yeah, they took away my skimmer for sinning. The trail. I don't think Gregor would eat it, so I'm not super concerned if I don't find it. But like, where did that go? I kind of needed that. I don't know if it fell on the table or felt like did it get flung? I kind of like that back. I might need to just like move on. What do you think, Gregor? Any idea where it is? Fine, use your metal sniffing abilities that you have. Hey, Gregor, where is it? Oh, he's stretching. You gotta do his pre-search stretches. Oh. He gave up. He tried his best. He's a good boy. You can barely see him in the screen. Good puppy. What were you thinking this is, Gregor? Yes, I know I taste like pumpkin, so you're licking me. Okay, he's going for another stretch. So stretchy. Okay. Is there any other tool that like does the same thing roughly? I know there's other... God, there's giant scrapers, but like... There might not be another Skinner. Skinner? Oh, Superintendent Chalmers. I was just stretching my calves. Huh. Why is there smoke coming out of your oven? Oh, that's not smoke. Steam. Steam from steamed clams wrapping. Steamed clams. I'll let you get to that, or whatever. I don't know all the lyrics. I only know some of them. I say lyrics. It's not really a song. This is tragic. Maybe I can, like, watch through the stream. Maybe I'll see it if I watch through the stream. Okay. Let's see. We gotta find this. We've got some sleuthing to do, guys. I'm getting an ad first, though. Wowie, I'm getting a... What is this even an ad for? Harbor Fright, sure. People use it to make lyrics, yeah. Okay. Oh, we're gonna get into... Wait. Let's go. Inventory correction. Oh god, it looks so weird. Okay, I'm getting distracted. Let me go back, like, a few minutes. Oh, wait, I think I... Let's see. So I kind of, like... I cannot see, like, anything here. Let me zoom in. Yeah, this does not help me at all. Okay, well... I'll find it one day, probably. Put the glasses back on. They're a little pumpkin-y now. That's fine. Could it be inside this? It's not. Worth a shot. Okay. I gotta find a good replacement, though, because this was such a good skimmer. And now I'm forced to use the big skimmer? Big skimmer's gonna kill me. Skimmer? Oh, super... I guess let's see how big skimmer functions. Actually, this might be fine. No, it doesn't even get a good, like, edge in. Big skimmer has, like, no cutting power. This is not right. You're a disgrace compared to your cousin, Little Skimmer. Gonna be the Skimmer villain origin story. God, everything else just feels so... Actually, wait, this might be goated. Spoon? It's like a fork, but it's without prongs. You might be like, isn't that a spoon? No, spoons are like curved usually. I don't know. I don't know if it's more spoony or more forky at that point, though. Okay, this actually works wonders. Look at this. Okay. I think the loss of the skimmer might have been like a divine revelation or something. That's basically just saying you should stop using that garbage tool and start moving to a real tool. Goodbye, skimmer. One that probably won't get flung off the hilt and disappear for all eternity. Although I guess who knows. Could still happen. We love Jackenstein. Oh yeah, look at how fast I'm going through this now. Now that I found my true friend, King and Bine's Music Gaming. Yeah. Some people doubted me, saying, "Oh, trying to carve a pumpkin on Lord Honglu, that's insane. You can't do that." Oh, I can, and I am. I remember, like, some people being kind of similarly, I guess I say some people. I'm probably thinking of, like, a single comment. Like, there's probably, like, a single person being like, "Oh, that's not that." You got dropped in the bowl, in the ground, or in the pumpkin. I don't think it's in the pumpkin. Could it be in the bowl? It could be in the bowl. I think if it's in the bowl, it's as good as dead. It's probably on the ground. It's just so tiny, and it's like reflective, so you'd think it'd be visible, but it's so small that it blends in. Maybe I can, like, find it. That's a pumpkin chunk. Surely if I, like, step on it, I'd feel it. It's not that small. Well, whatever. The skimmer has been replaced by the foon, since it's, like, not exactly a spork. But it's, like, somewhere in between. It's somewhere in between, but in the negative sense, where, like, where it, like, lacks the curve of a spoon, it lacks the prongs of a fork. And this dream was before you threw remains in the bowl. Yeah. I could see that. Whenever I hear this, like, this song reminds me so much of, like, the one song that plays at, like, the very end of Canto 5. It's very, like, similar in, like, tone, I feel. Like, the one that plays once, like, Indigo Elder, like, once, like, after, like, Ahab's, like, defeated, like, Indigo Elder, like, punctures the skin of the whale, like, breaks in, drops down the rope. And I think it was used in, like, trailer music. I think the trailer music is what I actually remember it from, but that's where I remember it playing the game. Rest in peace, Little Skimmer. 2024 to 2025. Because the Little Skimmer, that's definitely what I used, like, most of the carving last year, I think. If not the entire time. We lost a real one. Even if it ended up being a fake one in the end. And this is going to go swimmingly, I'm sure. God. Yeah, the issue is, when trying to do these super precise areas, Little Skimmer would be so much better for me. Quit without a 2-week notice, yeah. I don't think it quit as much as it suffered an unfortunate workplace accident. Oh, God, that means I'm gonna have to pay out its family. Ugh. Darn those workplace regulations. Funny sort of thing to say, because I'm actually OSHA certified. Like, I gain no benefit from being OSHA certified whatsoever, but I am. Fun fact about me. I don't even know what that entails for me, honestly. Had to do it for, like, some class. So now I can, like... I don't know. If you have any, like, workplace violation questions, I legally can help you, I guess? Is that what that means? Could be. I don't know, I still wouldn't recommend using me, because, like, that was, like, in 12th grade, but... Sure don't got money to pay the family. It's fine, we'll give him a little talking to. All workplaces are just big mobs. You get deep into it. I'm walking here. Forget about it. Oh yeah, this is how it's looking so far. Look at that! It's Lord Honglu. You can kind of tell. It's a little weird just because there's so much, like, samey area, so it's really going to come down to how much detail I can get into the skimming. If I can get, like, if I can get lines in there. Wait, that could be goated. Just, like, show off some of, like, the clothes, like, wrinkles and stuff by just having, like, maybe, like, little lines here and there. That could work pretty well, I think. So yeah, that's the body basically done. Yeah, some of that stuff looks a little weird, doesn't it? I think there's still plenty we can do to improve upon it, of course. I think some of it's like, I think the secret is like, if I'm going too detailed, just carve out the part I'm going to do too detailed into. I'm fine missing out on a few details for a little bit more structural stability. Okay. But yeah, I didn't actually carve the what was I saying? I haven't traced with the knife for the head yet and the hair. So I gotta do that now. Hair's a little awkward because there's a lot of pokey parts, and I think the thing is I just gotta simplify it, right? The secret for pumpkin carving stuff is just simplify stuff. Like, your life will be so much easier if you just don't try and get too detailed with it. But you can still get a decent chunk of detail in there. Just gotta get, like, the illusion of detail, yeah, like that. It's gonna be tricky even with simplifying. Yep. That's how it goes. I honestly don't think it's gonna be too bad. Famous last words, I know, but eh. I remain optimistic. Okay, I see. Reference from time to time. See, where's Scooper? Scoop friend. This one. Here we go. I believe in myself, and that's the difference maker. I believe. Start with a big chunk of the hair. Oh, don't mean to stab that. That's fine. Ah, stabbed myself a little bit. Not major, like, I'm not bleeding or anything. Luckily, I'm not using a super stabby tool. Just gotta be cautious about the head. Need to not use too much force and accidentally, like, behead him. You know what they say when you... What is it? What do you do when you've got, like, filth to expel? You use your head. Yeah, that's what we're doing here. We're using our head. This... Oh, I see. dawn of the final day. Sorry that you've barely made yourself considering you're still decently new to pumpkin carving. Yeah. I'm not even, like, I'm honestly quite the klutz, so it's kind of surprising, but honestly... I actually don't know. I'm trying to think if there's a good reason for why I'm doing a decent job. I got nothing. I'm goated. That's it's simple as that. Locked in. Oh. I'm out of disk space again. That's fine. I've got some stuff I can... Oh. That would do it, wouldn't it? I think I know what's taking up a significant chunk of disk space. I still have, like, the unedited, unedited, like, speed run. Speed space run. Video project. Complete speed. I can definitely get rid of some of this stuff now. A raw video file moment, indeed. Yeah, I'm trying to actually record, like, this entire thing. Because, so... I made an edited version of the last year's pumpkin carving video, but the thing last time is I didn't record it live, so I had to get the stream footage, which means that the music was stuck in there. Whenever I record, this definitely doesn't help, like, the space thing, but whenever I record, I have the mic audio and, like, my actual computer audio set to different, like, tracks. So that way I can edit that sort of stuff as need be. Super convenient a lot of the times. But if I don't record it myself and instead take it directly from YouTube, that does not happen. And I'd like to be able to edit this and mess with the music a bit. Okay. Okay, well, I think this is the kind of like rough pass done with now, mostly. Actually, there's a corner there I gotta get rid of. Do want to make more fun. I really enjoy, like, when I make my longer video essay type videos. They're always a lot of fun to make, and I've got a bunch of other ideas. If I can just continue the momentum of getting one out, like, every month or so, I'd be pretty fine with that, right? That'd be pretty good. Still a lot of ideas I want to do. Let me... He's going blowing. God. Weird to think that, like, the first two, like, real big popular videos I made, like the workshop one and the classification one, that was 2 years ago now? I'm pretty sure that was, like, October, November. I think that was, like, they were both November 2 years ago. That's crazy to think about. I've kind of always had a few videos that super pop off each year, because, like, last year it's the Blood Fiend one. I'm honestly not super... I honestly kind of don't like the Blood Fiend video that much, mainly because I think I lean way too hard into the Nosferatu thingy. when that is still entirely headcanons. I think it'd be fine if I talked about it being like a theory, but I kind of state it as fact, and that bothers me. Like one of the big things for me about like making video essay sort of things is I hate spreading misinformation, which is a shame because I definitely do it sometimes. I really don't want to. Sometimes I kind of get too caught up in it. I like my videos to be as correct as possible, but I also like don't. I also don't like get help from other people, and that probably hurts me in the long run. If I got like someone else to like proofread my videos and stuff, it could probably help. I'm about to spread these. Indeed, I'm about to graduate college, and I feel like I've learned almost nothing to be. That's just how it goes. I've definitely learned plenty, but I do not feel like I'm about to graduate college. It was actually really funny though, because I was supposed to graduate college in December, but I'm gonna have to graduate in May instead. Because my advisor messed something up. Proofread, you say, there you are, yeah. Honestly, I should get you to help out with that sort of thing. That'd probably be worthwhile. I don't know how much you could help, but I mean, might as well. Kind of see, that was a bit more of a diss than I meant it, but you know what I mean. If I made, like, the video on old glitches, like, you wouldn't be able to help out with that at all, since you... I mean, maybe some of them, but you were kind of after the time of those. Okay, so, here is how it's looking. That's pretty good, I want to say. Pretty goated. Still a little weird. It's very messy around the edges, but luckily, that's what the cleanup part's for. But before we do any sort of cleanup stuff, actually, let me just... Let me do some of that stuff. I feel like I'm gonna, like, rip a chunk out by just doing it. I think I did. Yeah, that's fine. That's a chunk I was expecting to come out, honestly. Not super important either. Yeah, look at that! Lord of Hongyuan, Lord of Halloween. Sometimes it happens, you can be on your accident all the time. Most you can do is like fix it on post. Yeah, I wish there was a way to edit YouTube videos after the fact. I understand why there isn't, because then people could like change information, like make some things like seem wrong, but god. I know old YouTube had like that like the anecdote feature, and that seems so nice. Being able to add little pop-ups after the fact, just being like, oh wait, no, this actually. They just did away with that. Let me wash my hands. Well, I want to try this out and see how it's looking. And here we go, we've got the box of pumpkin lights. I'm so prepared this time. Gregor's so excited by the pumpkin lights, aren't you, buddy? Oh, so yeah, like, I remember people use that sort of thing to make, like, choose your own adventure. Oh, there's a remote for this, huh? I didn't look at this, like, part of the reason why I probably get scammed on Amazon purchase so much, I kind of like choose the first option. I'm like, yeah, that looks good. There's a remote for this. Takes AAA. I've got AAA. I keep batteries around. Little remote gamer pumpkin lights. Maybe, yeah, can I set it to RGB? I think it said it came with 2 of these, right? Yeah. Cool. Do I need batteries? Oh, I need batteries for these two, don't I? Yeah. These also AAA? Is there double A? Okay. Why not just make it consistent? Whatever. Well, the other one I'll put over here for now, but let me just get batteries. You'd have to be a fool to not keep all types of batteries on you at a time. I should turn this off. Jeez. This is not going in right. Do I just have to roll with it? This is not fitting. There we go. Okay, I just had to push it further than I'd expect. Let's see how it's looking. I have not skimmed nearly enough, it seems. Okay, that's fine, though. I just need to skim more. That's doable. The microphone lighting definitely makes this look funnier. Hello? I think I'm supposed to be able to change the colors of this microphone, but I don't know how to do it, so it just kind of alternates. It's always been like that, though. Yeah, I think this is like... Oh, wait, I should cover up the top. Maybe that'll help. Where does it go? I don't remember. There we go. Okay, that's a good start. If I just go through and, like, skim deeper all the parts I've skimmed... Or maybe I can... up the brightness? I don't know if this is doing anything, honestly. Steady? Maybe it's, like, really short range. Oh, it is, okay. Got slightly brighter. No, it actually didn't. It was, it was set to flicker, so it looked like it was getting brighter. But it's just doing it over time. Okay. Yeah, like, if I hit flicker, it goes like that. But if it's steady... There we go. Okay. That's good. I just gotta carve this stuff out more. That makes sense. Like, because it's only like a fraction of the way through. Yeah. I can definitely take that a lot deeper. Also, in this mode, I can kind of see what parts I need to poke at a little harder. Ugh. Like this, and then do a little pokage. We do a little pokage. This is real riveting content, I know. What's going on there? It's like the intestines being weird. I'll need to deal with that, that's fine. Okay, cool. Let's get back to it then. Overall current opinion, it's looking pretty good. I don't need to turn all the lights on. Is that good enough? That's actually probably good enough. I don't need the rest of the lights. It's going good, Gregor. So I guess I want to be smart. I should do another row with the knife first, shouldn't I? could. Actually, I might be fine without it. This is where it'd be really nice to have my thingy, though. That's fine. I've got the Foon here, and the Foon is supreme. Actually, I should turn the lights back off. I need to see how deep I need to make it. Let's do some experimentation. Let's begin the experiment, as they say. Something I've gotten Honglu's weapon to carve it. Yeah. Okay. See, in this form... Okay, I can just, like, chip away at it a little bit now, I think. See how deep I need to make it for it to be decent. I was saying earlier how I kind of, like, underestimate, how thick the pumpkin is, and yeah, this is definitely a case of that. Okay, a bunch of chunks are falling on the table, that's fine, I'll deal with that. So how's that looking? So that's the area I mainly did. Okay, I still need to do a decent chunk more than I feel. We are gaming. Yeah, I'm really, like, chipping away at it now, and I think something like that might be good. Oh, okay, there we go. I think that's the right depth. Okay, cool. I'll turn the lights back on now. I just wanted to get to that point. Because the lights are off, I was getting pumpkin everywhere. That's fine. Oh. Let's do a quick Gregor intermission because... Look at this guy. Look at him chilling on the couch. So it's funny because he's being mopey right now, so... This is like, it's kind of like a semi-pull-out, but it's kind of couch where I can, like, pull it out to be, like, roughly this large. And I usually have it like that because Gregor likes to lounge on the couch, but because I have it, like, in the smaller mode right now in order to have more space, he's being very mopey about it. The big baby is. Diva Dog, yeah! This is Gregor. He had a costume earlier. He didn't like the costume too much, which I kind of expected. Oh, it looks like Gregor needs some attention, though. Gregor break. Now let's do... There we go, that'll work. Gregor break. Beautiful. He's a very good boy. He goes to bed at like 6-ish every night, so it is far past his bedtime. And you can tell. Good boy. I don't know how visible it is that his couch is covered in dog fur, but like I can never get it off because anytime I do, Gregor gets it covered in dog fur again. He sheds a lot. I don't know how clear it is based on how he looks, but he sheds a lot. And I tried brushing him, but I can never brush him enough. He's always got more fur. Give him head pats? Absolutely. Good boy. He loves a good behind the ears scratch. Oh, you need some belly rubs? Let's see if I can get him to do it. Yeah, stretchy. Big baby. Oh, is that a spot? If I get sometimes if I get just the right spot under his armpit, he'll start doing the thing where he kicks his leg. Doesn't seem like I'm quite hitting that spot today. Maybe he's not as itchy as it sometimes is. Good. How can I stop? It's hard to stop the Gregor break once it starts. That's the issue. Isn't that right, buddy? Oh, so stretchy. What happens if I stop? What are you gonna do? Oh, he's gonna go and eat the pumpkin off the floor. That's okay, you can do that. Floor pumpkin is for Gregor. Not a thought behind his eyes. Okay, is Gregor done? No. Come here. Come here. Come here. His paws are on my leg, but he's not in camera view. Come here. Good boy. Big baby. Yeah. You can get on my lap? You just want pets. Good boy. Snuggle bug. You just trying to get the pumpkin? He is. I see your scheming. I see your schemery. You're not stuff. You're not slick. It's funny because he doesn't even care for the pumpkin that much. Like, this dog could jump up and take pumpkin whenever he wants to. He's not much. He's much of it. He's quite the jumper, but he doesn't like. He doesn't steal food. You'd think, with how much of a silly fellow he is, he'd be a food stealer, but he's really not. See, is it okay if I get back to my pumpkin carving, buddy? Get some big chunks. So he's biting his tail. I don't think you can see it too well. He's doing his Ouroboros thingy. He's very flexible, so he whenever he wants to catch his tail, he does. So he doesn't find it that entertaining because he just does it. I'm getting a little bit of deja vu in the sense where I feel like it was the same bit like last time I did this where I did not carve nearly as deep as I needed to for there to be a good skim. And I had to keep on going back and forth. That sounds about right. Honestly, I think I'm probably falling into a lot of the similar pitfalls as I did last time. I say pitfalls, it's really not a lot of things that are going wrong or anything. Pitfall is probably a strong word for it. I did really like how the Guandao looked, so maybe I won't make that one any deeper. Kind of like a cool effect since it has like holes there and then a decent chunk that's like almost fully uncovered. I'll see. Don't you worry about the Guandao. The Guandao is definitely not the most important part to making this look good. Put it in there and touch some grass. How's the pumpkin coming? Give me a second to make it presentable. The pumpkin is going very well. It's a little messy now since I'm trying carving fairly deep into it. But you know, it's at the point where we did a simple light test, and it was looking pretty good. So now we're pushing further. Keep on keeping on. Let's just scrape into the bowl. Yeah, looking good. Look half bad. Make it sound like you were expecting it to look bad, SMH. Nah, but yeah. It's going really well. Quite satisfied. I was pleasantly surprised with how well it went last year, too. I'm a lot better than I'd expect, I suppose. Maybe I underestimate my own powers. Game Fungus, yeah. They're controlled by a remote. For some reason. Like, it's not, you can't see it, but like, it's remote-controlled pumpkin lights that, but it's remote-controlled pumpkin lights that do not have enough range to go through the pumpkin, so like, the point seems rather moot. Well, whatever, I guess. I mean, it's not to remote-controlled, I guess it's to control it, period. I guess it's fine for that sense. God, it's going everywhere. That's fine. Professional pumpkin carver again. I'm gonna do this as my job. Being a professional pumpkin carver would probably suck. Like, you get to work once a year, and the talent, like, it's really not something that can be directly translated to any other holiday, right? That's the thing, right? Like, imagine, like, you being like, yeah, during October I carve pumpkins, and then you'd have to have something else as your job, right? There's nothing very one-to-one that occurs to do it. And, like, pumpkins aren't always in season. You can't even make it so your thing is like, oh, it's pumpkins all year. Is there any other fruits that work well for carving? I somewhat doubt it. I'm sure you could manage it in, like, a melon or something, but, like, you'd just be better off doing pumpkins. And Easter and Valentine's Day as well. You mean, like, egg carve? I don't know. I can't really think of a good, like, adjacent for those, unless you were to still do pumpkins, but, like, with other theming. I don't know, maybe some other sorts of, maybe like a squash or something. Sure. Yeah, it's, you know, in the off seasons, I'm a pumpkin carver by trade, but, you know, in those off seasons, I love to carve me a good eggplant. This is all based on the assumption of someone, like, being a professional pumpkin carver, when I'm sure they would just be, like, a general, like, crafter, I guess? I don't know what's the word for it. You know, like, the kind of people that, like, their entire gimmick is, like, they'll have, like, a YouTube channel, and they'll make, like, weird crafts? Like, they'll be like, oh, I melted down 1,000,000, like, chocolate bunnies and made a set of playing cards out of them. That's what, like, most, like, professional pumpkin carvers do as for a living. Commercial pumpkin carvers are just the human versions of Spirit Halloween, maybe. Who knows? We're like fighting across the... Yeah, like those sort of things. I don't know. I'm sure that's like... I only really watched those sort of things in like 2017 YouTube. I'm sure those kinds of channels are like thriving in the TikTok economy though. It feels like it's probably like a playground for them. Like they were made for this. Can't go into witnessing Arena Spirit Halloween stray. It's Spirit Halloweens are just so funny. I don't know. I've never been much of a Spirit Halloween. I really like Halloween, but like I'm not super big on Halloween decorations, I feel. I really like them, but like I'm not much of a decoration person in general, honestly. That's my thing. I enjoy like I enjoy holidays and the like. I'm just not likely to be one to like decorate for them. I've got there's like a family friend where like when my parents are close to like this family where like they've got like a 10-year-old who's like super obsessed with Christmas or no with Halloween. I almost said Christmas now. And it's so funny because they'll have all sorts of like stupid Halloween decorations each year. Like I remember like that kid got Halloween decorations for Christmas last year. Like that kid is obsessed. The kind of character you'd see as like the protagonist in like a generic Halloween movie. He's like, oh man, I really love Halloween. Man, I can't stop thinking about Halloween. Like, good for him, of course, but like, I think of it when I think of like Halloween decorations. Got like a bunch of random like inflatable things and the like. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Haven't been showing it too much, but here's how it's looking so far. You can kind of tell it's getting really deep. Should have a good glow to it, yeah. I need to clean out some of these. One of the Halloween troopers, truly. I kind of just sort of think, like, honestly, it's really... Once I get to the point where, like, I'm just, like, scraping and whatnot, like, it's so satisfying. Like, I feel like I keep on, like, blanking out and not saying things in this phase especially, but, like, it's just very... It's very pleasing to me to do. It's like those, like, soap carving, like, accounts. Like, wow, they just be carving soap, but I'm doing it myself. And I honestly kind of prefer it with, like, a purpose, right? I feel like I don't think I'd enjoy soap carving stuff that much because, like, it looks like they just, like... It looks like they're just, like, cutting it to pieces with, like, no rhyme or reasoning. I feel like I need a little bit, like... I need reasoning, I need rhyme. Could do a little... Oh, I almost dropped it. That'd be bad. I feel like nothing fell down from that. That's fine. Nothing needs to. Probably move on to the next area by now. Oh, it's banger. One of like the shooting gallery themes. Isn't it? I believe so. Oh, I'm not gonna mess with this too much, I'm just cleaning this part up. I know Stico Sword only never use it again. I mean, at least there's the shooting gallery like fight in the dungeon at least. I assume that uses this OST. The one that like is super optimal because like it gives you so many eco resources that it makes the entire dungeon so much easier. That one. I know I didn't choose that one in my first playthrough of Kanto. It's funny to think about. I don't even think this music plays in any of the mirror dungeons. I don't remember. I don't actually know the Blood Fiend floors too much, and there's like 4 of them now. I feel like they don't use shooting gallery though, do they? They might for one of the randoms. Most of the Blood Fiend floors are meant to be like later floors, so they don't have the easier fights, I suppose. That's the best reasoning I have, at least. It makes so much music for Limbus, though. Pretty funny sometimes, though. Very funny. How is it? Wasn't it that didn't Kanto 5 not like use like it used like basically no new battle tracks until you actually got to like the mermaid stuff, which is pretty funny. I think it's just it was all like pre-existing ones for most of Act 1. Not sufficient disk space again. Okay. God. How much storage is all this recording taking up? Let's see. 20 gigabytes, 30 gigabytes, 13 gigabytes. Jeez! Isn't that a little much? I guess it's like, yeah, it checks out, I guess. Okay, what do I have to... I gotta see what I can uninstall to make more space. Really 5 floor? Oh, that makes sense. 3 hours now? Yeah. Like it's 70 gigs worth of video. Jeez. Google the Halloween 212. Yeah, so it's super interesting because one of the very first roadmaps, like during season 1 of Limbus, did show Walpurgis Night was planned for October. So for pretty much like the entire for like the first half a year or whatever it was, like a little more, I guess, like 7, 8 months. Like we all thought Walpurgis Night was going to be the Halloween event. We thought that's what it was going to be. It wasn't until 2 weeks before and that we learned, oh, this is like LobCorp Ruina like fan service stuff. Like that was unexpected. I have something that's taking up way too much space in one of these folders. Don't know if I do. This is fine. What is it, Gregor? Silly dog. I just gotta go through and clear out some stuff. Oh. I see. That should give me some space back. You're okay, Gregor. Kind of Walpurgis. Actually, the first what was it? Was it this third one that did? Yeah, Walpurgis Night 3 was in the actual Walpurgis Night, because actual Walpurgis Night is last day of April / first day of May, I'm pretty sure. Which is why, like, they said originally they were gonna do a Walpurgis Night right before Kanto 7, before postponing it, instead of giving us Reindeer Honglu. Because that would have been on the actual Walpurgis Night again. Not something they worry too much about doing, I suppose, but it's cool. I definitely do wish there was a bit more of a regular schedule for Purge Nights. Sometimes it's, like 3 months, sometimes it's closer to like 6 months. It's not that big of a deal to me, but like, it's an issue because it's an issue to new players, right? And I think it's super important to be super aware of stuff that is not necessarily an issue to me, but is for newer people. Because if you have to go, if you start, right after all Purge Night, you have to wait 6 months before you can get, so many good IDs. That's sad. Whoops. Okay, that's fine. So I'll get my move for a bit. Honestly, I think this will probably wrap up in the next hour. I shouldn't need to make more space. I don't know how much longer it'll take to get this to a level I'm satisfied with, really. Primate that full stuff singular isn't honest, right? 2-star or something. I wish they did 2 stars still. I've accepted that they're just kind of done with them. But I think it's a stupid decision, but they seem dead set on continuing that way. Because honestly, I think they, like, underestimate how many people will pull for 2 stars. Like, I don't bother pulling on most banners, but, like, back when 2 stars were a thing, I would pull for the 2-star if nothing else, just because it was like, oh, yeah, sure, I'm gonna get one in, like, 10 pulls, right? I might as well. I don't want to spend 150 shards for a 2-star. I don't know how many other people would have that same, like, sort of opinion, but I feel like a decent chunk. I don't know. And it would feel a lot better for... I'd be a lot more fine with stuff like High Show if it had some 2-stars sprinkled in there, because, you know, why sure, having, you know, a faction with 7 3-stars, why don't you? How riveting. Wall 2-stars especially are so cool, because it lets them cover, like, some of, like, the less popular, like, things from LobCorp and Runa. Like, getting Lantern as an ID is super cool. I think it's made it so a lot of the other LobCorp Wolves especially have felt kind of underwhelming because it's the obvious cool stuff. Like, give some other stuff a chance to shine. It's why I kind of like what they're doing with Runa Wolves, where they're doing a lot of the weirder stuff, like Full Stop, I guess Full Stop and, like, Hanafuda and the like, right? It's cool. I like it. What was the last 2-star ID we got? It was, what's her face? It's Lantern Hong. No, not Lantern Yisong. Good job, me. And that was back in January, so it's almost been a year. Wowie. Daring today, aren't we? I'll have a 3-star, and I'll have another 3-star. Daring today, aren't we? Hopefully we'll get back in the rate of at least getting egos at a much more reasonable rate now that the Arc Knights event is past us. Let's see, it was in January. Yeah. Good thing is, that means in January we're going to get the rerun of that most likely, and that means we'll get the Hohenheim ID. Wowie. Either Gregor or Heath, depending on how they take it, most likely, because they're going to make it line up with the ADDs. And they're the ones that makes the most sense anyways, especially Heathcliff, but I could see them doing someone else too. I don't think it necessarily has to be him. Just because a character has, like, a lot of interaction with like a unrelated side character doesn't necessarily mean they're going to get the ID of them, right? I feel like I see that with something like how, like, Seachan interacted with Dawn a lot, but was given to Ishmael, right? So what comes to mind first, at least. Ah. That's fine. Hearing screaming outside. Happy Hallows Eve. Eve? I guess? It's the eve of Hallows Eve. Can we just take this chunk off at this point? No. But it's super flimsy. Oh, it came off. Okay, that's fine. Okay, a few chunks came out of the head, but that's fine. It was just the chunks I was trying to keep up for the bandages. Those ones were super structurally unstable, so I'm not shocked at all, and I think it's an outcome I was partially expecting to happen sooner or later. That's fine. It's all about adapting, right? Seems like there's a dog outside. That makes sense, given how Gregor's laying by the window. Here's how it's looking so far. Looking pretty good, I want to say. A lot of cleanup to be done still, but almost at the point where I'm ready to just get into like the final cleanup-y phases. Straight up to Loop 3, everyone. I noticed already, but I just forgot to say anything. Kind of like that. Yeah, let's keep that. Definitely want to go through and deal with some of the edges on these holes. They're not always the most. Think of that. Dun. Surprised I managed to keep this coat on this entire time. It's fairly warm. I guess the one nice thing is today, today was like the first day, like, this, like, of this fall to actually be, like, decently, like, chilly out for me, so that's nice. You're not super cold, but, like, kind of, like, pleasantly windy and chilly and the like. So that's nice. I guess that's probably helping. The main thing I'm doing is trying to make the textures not look so weird on a pumpkin. A lot of it looks very scraped. That's for sure. Right. I'm just trying to see if I can get like a bunch of various shards. It's like Limbus, but at least. Yeah, I've seen, I know Cassetti Mercer's got an interesting outplay story. I haven't, like, seen the entire thing out yet because I was waiting. I know vaguely what happens, though. It seems very interesting, that's for sure. I don't really know what it entails yet, though. Yeah, it looks like in this step, the hair definitely lost a decent chunk of the spikes, but that's... Once again, that's another one of those things that's to be expected, I want to say. One of those things that just kind of super detail-y detail. Let's get a poker. I need to start... This is the part where I'm going to start trying to clean up the holes. Because the holes are kind of icky. Not like super bad or anything, but like... Just kind of in the sense where there's a decent chunk of like... Such shrapnel. Yeah, sure, shrapnel just blocking them. Live a little, say shrapnel. Maybe I get saw out for this? Yeah? Actually, not bad, yeah, sure. Seems like a decent enough call. Decent enough time to cut off my fingers. Yeah, I'm probably tempted to call it soon, honestly. I could spend a while just, like, fiddling away at it, like, that sort of thing. It's probably better for me to just call it once I'm satisfied with it, and I'm about at that point. Yeah? You interesting, Gregor? Is this interesting things to you? Is this fascinating? Okay, let's give it a try now. Let's see how it's looking, and I'll make my decision from there. The light? Can't see me at all. Cool. You can vaguely see me now. Yeah. And then put the top on, of course. And then... Alright, it's not gonna go through, that's fine. If I get it from the front, it should. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool. I kind of like the idea of maybe... Actually, you know what? It might be rash to do this immediately, but I like this idea, so I'm going to do it. Oh yeah, I can clean it up a lot better in this state, that's true. Actually pretty good, yeah. You gotta believe in me. I may be foolish, but I'm not that foolish. Or was the Jade Light true? Actually, no, that wouldn't make any sense for Lord Honglu. He kind of doesn't have the Jade. Maybe it makes sense that there isn't a Jade Light then. I'm pretty satisfied with that, yeah, jeez. That's some good stuff. Some of these darker sections I'm going to try and trim a little bit more, maybe? It's kind of better for there to be some darker sections, though, yeah? Yeah. Capiche? Capiche. Very riveting to see this, of course, me just working in the darkness, but yeah. That's how it goes. Let me get the saw. Let's try cutting some of the insides here. Just looking inside. I don't know how much I can reasonably try and, like, do from the inside, but it could help if I can, like, cut away at some of the inside intestinal stuff a little bit more. Hopefully I don't, like, break through it or something, though that would be unfortunate. Mepho's putting stream for another 3 billion years. True. Yeah, it's a funny idea, but yeah, that's gonna happen. Away at it. Get the funny. Not this funny. Get funny. This funny. Doesn't do that much. Okay. I think I'm satisfied with that. You know what, I could keep on sitting here whittling away at it a little bit, just over and over again, but I think I'm pretty satisfied with just ending it with that. Yeah. I don't know, that's pretty good. Let me get a screenshot. Look at that. That's good. That's pretty good. Let me pick at some of this, though. There's still some debris stuck in the crevasses. You want to have time for fun? I kind of didn't expect having enough time. I think that was a... I mean, I think it was a cope. I like the idea of it, but I think if the Honglu was smaller, maybe, right? Like, if maybe it was, like, a tiny little Honglu, or if I simplified it more. But because I kind of tried to go for the actual, like, design and try and do that well. That's how it goes. Let's see. You know what? Oh god. What? Oh. I didn't know that was a key I could press. I'm pressing all the wrong keys right now, in case you're wondering. Just want to get another good screenshot. You know what? Give me a minute. I'm going to take this outside, and I'm going to take a photo of it, and then we'll see how it looks there. Turn the light on for this bit. Good Gregor. Okay, so I put it outside now. wash my hands and then I'll go and get a good photo. Is it Greg? Yeah. Is this exciting? What's going on? Stay there. Yeah. It honestly probably looks better inside. It's a little too bright outside for me to get a decent... these are actually pretty solid. They look worse outside. Oh yeah, some of these are real blurry. Hey, here's a... Okay, this is very inconvenient, but you know... Here's a photo of it outside! Okay, it looks decent for a little bit, but then it... Okay, this is not working. You know, let me send this to myself on Discord. And then put it on stream. Hey, I can turn the light back on. No, can't I? Huh? Almost forgot about that. But yeah, here... God. Here's a photo of it in better quality. Outside. Look at that! It's pretty good. Bit of a blurry photo, but it's better there than my other attempts. But yeah! I think I'm pretty satisfied with how this has turned out. I think I'd consider this another successful pumpkin carving year. I only took like, what, like 3.5 hours? That's not bad. Probably similar to how much it was last year, honestly, but I don't know what that is. I think it's actually a chunk of the stem. On with the pumpkin, what will he do? What will he do? That's the question. Gregor, come here. Come here! Gregor. Say hi to everyone. Now that we're done pumpkin carving... Thank you for the kisses, buddy. Now we can get some Gregor time. Now that that pumpkin's gone. You mad who's stealing all your attention? Yeah. A big baby. Silly dog. So full of it. You about ready to go to bed, Gregor? Yeah. Well, I'm gonna need to... It's gonna take me a little bit to clean this up. Not too bad, doesn't it? Didn't really make that big of a mess. Which is nice. Helps I did on an actual table instead of a dresser like last year. But yeah, I'm quite satisfied by how things have turned out, I want to say. Good stream. Surprised this stayed on, honestly. This is just, I don't know if it's clear, but the badge sure is just taped on. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. It's just taped on. I guess it's partially taped, like, inside of the pocket, so I guess that helps. It works well enough. Very high quality Hohenheim. God, these glasses are, like, annoying. You want to wear them, Gregor? Gregor. He looks so dapper. He's not going to turn and look at the camera. And he doesn't like them that much. Yes, hi. You good, buddy? You ready for this to be a little over? Well, yeah, I'm gonna thank all of you guys for being here for this stream. Pretty good, I want to say. Like, obviously, it was a bit of a weird concept to, like, attempt. Just doing Lord Honglu. And, like, honestly, it took me a while to make the, like, announcement video because I didn't know what I wanted to make. I had a bunch of ideas, like, what was it? Originally, I wanted to do maybe one of the Sinner logos, but I figured, none of them are super great for pumpkin carving. Like, they all work pretty well, honestly, but, like, I feel like I'd be missing out, like, doing something like that, and it was kind of simple for me. I was considering, like, doing, like, the Dead Dawn sprite, because that's a bit I like a lot, but I don't think it's funny enough to do on a pumpkin. Would be funny, though. And eventually, we're gonna have thought of, why don't I just do the big relevant idea with Lord Honglu? And it turned out pretty well. Yeah, the Malphause side. The idea of having Malphause 2 was, like, if I have enough time, but I was fairly... Certainly, I actually didn't even prepare Malphause stencil. That's how little I thought I was gonna get to that. It was just a one-off bit that I figured I'd include. But yeah. I want to thank you guys. Once again, I just thanked you guys. I don't need to thank you guys again. But yeah. I'll see you again next year. I'll probably try streaming more soon. Actually, I say that, but I'm still fairly busy with schoolwork, so I'm not even sure it'll be anytime soon. I want to stream more. I really love just, like, talking. I think that's pretty obvious. But yeah, that'll be all for this time. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!